True crime has taken over. Podcasts, documentaries, and dramatized series like Dahmer and the Menendez brothers. There's something about real-life mysteries that pulls people in. Maybe it's the thrill of solving the puzzle. Maybe it's that eerie feeling that some cases just don't add up. But the real world doesn't follow a script. Some people vanish without a trace, leaving behind nothing but unanswered questions and theories that go nowhere. Some disappearances make sense. Foul play, accidents, the usual suspects. But others, well, hey, just defy all logic. People disappear in the middle of a crowd. Strange final messages that make no sense. Locations they should have never been able to reach. These 15 cases aren't just weird. They'll make you rethink everything you thought you knew about reality. Sometimes truth really is stranger than fiction. Number 15. Maura Murray. On February 9, 2004, 21-year-old Maura Murray left her dorm at UMass Amherst, emailed her professors about a family emergency that didn't exist, packed some clothes, withdrew $280 from an ATM, bought alcohol, and just vanished like Miss Invisible. She crashed her car in rural New Hampshire around 7 p.m. A witness offered to call for help, but she refused. By the time police arrived 45 minutes later, Maura was gone. No footprints, no struggle, just an abandoned car with a few odd items inside. Driving directions to Vermont and blank accident report forms. Theories? Well, you won't believe it, but they are endless. Some say she ran away. Others think she was abducted. Maybe she planned to disappear. Maybe she had no choice. Over the years, her family has chased every lead, but Maura remains one of the most perplexing missing persons cases in modern history. One night, one crash, one disappearance, and still no answers. Number 14. Johnny Gosch. A 12-year-old boy, an early morning paper route, and a moment that changed everything. On September 5, 1982, Johnny Gosch left his home in West Des Moines, Iowa, to deliver newspapers, something he'd done many times before. But this time, he never made it back. Witnesses reported seeing him talking to a man in a blue car, and another person claimed to have seen a suspicious vehicle speeding away from where Johnny's wagon was found. The investigation stalled. Years passed. Then, in 1997, Johnny's mother, Noreen, claimed that her son, now an adult, visited her briefly with an unknown man before disappearing again. Was it real? A delusion? No one knows. Other alleged sightings have surfaced over the years, but nothing has ever been confirmed. To this day, Johnny Gosch remains one of America's most infamous missing persons cases, fueling theories of child trafficking and chilling possibilities too dark to fully comprehend. Number 13. Amy Lynn Bradley. A dream vacation turned into a living nightmare. In March 1998, 23-year-old Amy Lynn Bradley joined her family on a Caribbean cruise. One night, she partied with the ship's band, but by morning, she was gone. Just gone. Her father last saw her sleeping on their cabin's balcony at 6 a.m. When he checked again 30 minutes later, she had vanished. The crew dragged their feet, waiting hours before announcing her disappearance, long enough for someone to get her off the ship unnoticed. Theories range from an accident to something far more sinister. Some believe Amy was kidnapped and trafficked, with multiple alleged sightings of her in Curacao. One witness even claimed she was working as an escort, but despite chilling leads, nothing has ever been proven. Amy Lynn Bradley didn't just vanish, she was taken, and the ocean, as always, kept its secrets. Number 12. Tara Calico. A girl, a bike ride, and a single haunting photograph. On September 20th, 1988, 19-year-old Tara Calico went for her usual morning bike ride in Belen, New Mexico. She never came back. Pieces of her Sony Walkman and cassette tape were found along the roadside, but Tara herself, gone. Then, a year later, a chilling clue surfaced. A Polaroid found in a Florida parking lot showing a young woman and a boy, both bound and gagged in the back of a van. The woman resembled Tara. Scotland Yard said it was her. The FBI not so sure. If it was Tara, who took her? And why did they leave behind a photo? In 2023, police announced new leads. But for now, Tara's fate remains locked inside a mystery that still refuses to give up its secrets. Number 11, the Yuba County Five. A group of friends pile into a car after a basketball game. Simple enough. But what happened next? That's where things get weird. Their car was found deep in the Plumas National Forest. Engine running, gas in the tank, no sign of struggle. They weren't hikers. They had no reason to be there. Then, months later, the body of one of them was found inside a locked trailer, wrapped in layers of blankets. There was food, enough to last months, but he barely touched it. His feet, blackened by frostbite, his pals, vanished. One set of bones turned up nearby, but the others? Gone, like the forest swallowed them whole. Maybe they got lost. Maybe someone led them there. Or maybe, just maybe, reality hiccuped, and they ended up somewhere they were never supposed to be. The only thing that's certain? The Yuba County Five never came home. Number 10, Lars Mittank. Lars went on vacation and never came home. Sounds simple and unsettling, but his story? It's the kind that keeps people up at night. In June 2014, the 28-year-old German was vacationing with friends in Bulgaria when a bar fight left him with a ruptured eardrum. Doctors told him he couldn't fly home right away, so he stayed behind at a cheap hotel in Varna. That's when things got weird. Lars started acting paranoid, texting his mom that people were following him, whispering about mysterious men outside his door. Then came the final chilling moment. Security footage captured him sprinting through Varna Airport, dropping his bags, vaulting a fence, and disappearing into the surrounding forest. And that was it. No trace, no answers. Was he hallucinating from his medication, running from something real? Or did he stumble into something he shouldn't have? The world may never know, but this was pretty brain-boggling. Number 9. Timothy Pitson. On May 11, 2011, 6-year-old Timothy Pitson was dropped off at school by his father, James. Hours later, his mother, Amy Fry Pitson, picked him up early and took him on a road trip, stopping at amusement parks, resorts, and zoos. It seemed like a fun getaway. Then, on May 14th, Amy was found dead in a motel room. She had taken her own life, leaving behind a note that read, "Timothy is safe. You will never find him." And she was right. Timothy was last seen on security footage 2 days before his mother's death. Since then, there's been no sign of him. Was he given to someone? Hidden away? Worse? Theories swirl, but with no body, no ransom, and no confirmed leads, the case remains an agonizing puzzle. In 2019, a man claimed to be Timothy, but it was a hoax. The real Timothy? Still missing. Still a mystery. Number 8. The Springfield Three. 3 women, Cheryl Levitt, her daughter Susie Streeter, and Susie's friend Stacy McCall, go to bed after a night of celebrating high school graduation, just like any other cool, normal women group. But then by morning, they're just gone. The house in Springfield, Missouri wasn't ransacked. Their purses, keys, and cars were still there. A friend who came looking found a shattered porch light, an unsettling phone call, and a very agitated dog. Even stranger? A cryptic voicemail was left on the answering machine, one that might have held a clue. But before police could hear it, it was accidentally deleted. Bad luck? Or something more sinister? To this day, the Springfield Three have never been found. There were no bodies or any kind of confirmed sightings. Just decades of dead-end leads and the nagging feeling that someone out there knows exactly what happened. Number 7. Zeb Quinn. January 2nd, 2000. An 18-year-old named Zeb Quinn meets his friend Robert Owens to look at a car he wants to buy. Normal enough, until Zeb gets a page on his beeper, freaks out, and speeds away. That was the last time anyone saw him. 2 days later, Owens shows up at work, bruised and injured, claiming he had a car accident. Then he calls in sick for Zeb. Strange. Days later, Zeb's car is found abandoned, its back windshield marked with strange lipstick symbols. Inside, a live puppy and a hotel key. No Zeb. For years, Owens denied any involvement, until 2017, when he was charged with Zeb's murder. Turns out Owens had already been serving life for murdering a married couple. So, did he kill Zeb too? Probably. But without a body, and with years of unanswered questions, Zeb Quinn's fate remains a mystery buried in shadows. Number 6. The Setagaya family murders. A quiet Tokyo neighborhood, a regular home, a family settling in for the night. By morning, 4 people were dead, and the killer? Still there. Whoever did it wasn't in a rush. He lingered. He ate ice cream, used their computer, and even took a nap. He left his clothes, his fingerprints, and his DNA everywhere. In any other case, this would be an open and shut deal. But over 2 decades later, the killer is still just a ghost in the system. Investigators found grains of sand from California in his pockets and shoes only sold in Korea. Thousands of officers chased thousands of leads. Nothing, not one name. Maybe he was a drifter. Maybe he knew them. Or maybe, just maybe, he never planned to leave and the world just forgot to notice. Well now, let's talk about Number 5. The Lady of the Dunes. Provincetown, Massachusetts. A woman's body in the sand, left under the summer sun for weeks. Hands missing, face unrecognizable, expensive dental work that should have led to an ID but didn't. She was there, and then she wasn't. For years, she was a ghost. Well, theories spiraled. Was she a mob hit? A spy? Even Jaws director Steven Spielberg, the greatest mind on Earth, got involved when someone spotted a woman in a crowd scene who looked eerily like her. Maybe she was just another forgotten tragedy, another name lost to time. Then, in 2022, DNA finally gave her a name, Ruth Marie Terry. But instead of solving the mystery, it cracked open a new one. Who killed her? Why did she have a life that left no breadcrumbs? A name isn't an answer. It's just a reminder that the scariest mysteries don't end when the credits roll. Number 4. Ronald Taman. April 19, 1953, Oxford, Ohio. 19-year-old Miami University sophomore, Ronald Taman gets back to his dorm, finds a dead fish in his bed, college pranks, right? And asks his dorm manager for clean sheets. Hours later, he's gone. His wallet, car keys, and personal belongings, still in his room. His car, untouched. No note, no sign of struggle. Just a young man who stepped out and never returned. A woman in a nearby town later claimed that a disoriented, mud-covered man resembling Taman knocked on her door that night, asking for directions. If it was him, where did he go next? And why was he wandering, confused in the first place? Decades later, theories range from amnesia to CIA involvement. But no one ever saw Ronald Taman again, making him one of college history's most perplexing mysteries. Number 3. Monica and Michael Bennett. On June 21, 1989, Monica and Michael Bennett, half-siblings from Brunswick, Georgia, got into their father's car. That was the last time anyone saw them. Their mother, worried sick, demanded answers from their father, Robert. His response? A mix of bizarre and conflicting stories. First, he claimed the kids ran away. Then, he changed his story, saying he dropped them off at their mom's house. Problem? They never showed up. Despite the obvious red flags, police initially dismissed the case, chalking it up to a runaway situation. No deep investigation, no real urgency. It wasn't until years later, the 2000s to be exact, that authorities finally reclassified them as endangered missing. But by then, the trail was ice cold. If Robert knew something, he never told. And with decades gone by, the siblings remain two more names on a long, tragic list of kids who simply disappeared. Number 2. Rebecca Coriam. Disney is known for magic, not mysteries. But when 24-year-old British crew member Rebecca Coriam vanished from the Disney Wonder cruise ship in March 2011, the story was anything but family-friendly. Surveillance footage showed her making a distressed phone call at 5:45 a.m. She hung up, walked away, and was never seen again. Officially, the story goes that she fell or jumped overboard. But the details don't add up. There were no alarms, no witnesses, no clear answers. The investigation was sloppy, handled by Bahamian authorities, since the ship was registered there. And critics claim Disney was more concerned with protecting its image than finding out what really happened. Her family refuses to believe she simply fell. Some suspect foul play, a cover-up, or something even stranger. But without solid evidence, Rebecca's disappearance remains another case where the truth is buried at sea. Number 1. The Jamison family disappearance. A family sets out into the Oklahoma mountains, supposedly looking for land to start fresh. Days later, their truck is found locked, phones, IDs, and $32,000 in cash inside. But the Jamisons? Gone. No footprints, no signs of struggle, just an eerie security tape showing them walking in and out of their house in a trance, moving like they weren't entirely there. Years later, their remains turned up, scattered just a few miles away. Theories flooded in. Was it a cult? A drug deal gone wrong? Did they just get lost and succumb to the elements? The unsettling part isn't that they vanished. It's that nothing about their disappearance makes sense. Like they walked off the map and only half returned. Some mysteries get solved, some don't. And some feel like they were never meant to be understood in the first place. If you have enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for staying with us, and we'll see you soon in the next one.